And we are rolling with Cyrus Parsa. It's good to see you again. I've seen you on Twitter, but I haven't seen you on a screen in a while. So thank you for coming.
Thanks for your invite. It's been a couple of years. I
I
appreciate you. A happy
Yeah.
New Year and late Merry Christmas to everybody.
Yeah, and Happy New Year, right?
Yeah,
And so the first time I ever interviewed you was with Michael Jaco, and you educated us on a lot of what was coming down the pike for all of the possible gadgets that are going to be created for AI, which actually, quite frankly, terrified me. Can you share with everyone just a little bit about your bio, not a long one, just a very simple one, so that anyone that doesn't know you will become familiar with, where you're coming from?
sure. I live with fighting martial arts in China, and then I've done over 20 years, almost 30 years of internal work and meditation. And like normal people, I'm the nation's first top 100 graduates of Homeland Security with a specialty in anti-terrorism and asymmetrical warfare. BS was in international security. I speak Persian, Chinese, English, and a couple other stuff, a little bit. And I'm founder of the AI organization and God Studios, which is a movie production company making AI Wars, the film. And we're doing crowdfunding. You can go to GoFundMe or GetSendGo or go to godstudios.com and
Well, we'll talk about that
support that.
later. Let's just do the bio.
In the
And
bio,
so,
basically, in 2019, I put everything aside, and with all my heart, I put out to all the media, which they didn't believe me. They refused to run. That in China there was a lab, and their bioweapon will be released, and they would lock the country down, and then they would knock out President Trump, and then it would lead to wars. But in the interim, that it would lead to forced mandated jabs with nanotechnology. I actually wrote it down in my book in
yes.
2019. I wrote it down in my federal complaint, and it reached almost 200 countries. But nobody supported. They didn't believe me. I thought I was nuts. So
2019, it kind of surprised all of us, right? And
yes.
I have to tell you, when I first heard you speak, you have such an innocent way about you, and such a it's like you know that you're smart, but you have such a sweetness to you and such a kindness. And I just was kind of like, wow, I can't believe this man's been trying to help us, but nobody's listening because it sounds so insane. And at first I was like, is this real? And then I went and I got your books, and sure enough, I saw the day it was published, 2019. I think it was like November of 2019, maybe March. What was it? But I remember just being so surprised at the depth and the breadth of what the scope and sequence of what you had put together to try and warn everybody. And this is kind of happening again, isn't it?
Yeah, it's happening again. This first book was in August 2019.
Okay.
And the first sentence says, "World's people are in danger, MBT bioweapon and world enslavement." And then the second one was which included the first book embedded in there that I gave to the president and his internal security team, and including the Pompeo and a bunch of other people, the generals. It was published October 20th. I gave it to him early November through the Secret Service, and a contact. Even Ivanka got it too, Ivanka Trump. But they're just like, they start banning a lot of companies that were in there, like TikTok and other stuff. But they didn't get it because I'm like, hey, talk to me. And here's the thing: people are programs. Whether if it's like so I'm mixed. I'm a mix of Persian, Greek, and Anglo, which is like German and a little Chinese, and I may have a little bit of African American in me as well. So I'm a mix of like 4 or 5 different things. But I respect everybody the same. So whatever race you are, it's like there's in your brain there's a program to just like kind of like animals, to follow and support the people who look like you or talk similar to you. So if someone comes out like, oh, interesting stuff. Okay, let's take that and for ourselves and do that. And when you do that, you don't have the expertise. Someone like me, you messed up the entire world and yourself. That's what happened. So then I put out the big federal complaint that reached 2 billion people, 3 billion people, and everyone was reading it. What? Enslaving the world? And this is like December 2019 and February. World lockdown, nanotech, leading to hypersonic missiles, programming people with AI and censorship. Bullshit. Right. 2 months later, everyone's getting locked up. Well, how the hell does Cyrus know everything? And then I put out, we can get the Epstein stuff. I put that out as well.
Yeah, no, but that's good. We're good. There's some things that I just don't want to talk about on YouTube. But so tell me this. Did the 2020 event, we'll just call it that, did it turn out as bad as you had thought it would? Or
definitely not. No. If I didn't do what I did, if it didn't reach 2 billion people, and if it didn't reach all the big tech elites were reading my federal complaint and even my books. Bill Gates, I had my book sent to Bill Gates through a contact. He read it. Trump read it. And he went through it, and his people read it. So a lot of people were like, what? World in danger? Enslavement? So if I didn't do those things, it would have been 100 times, 1,000 times worse. Because everyone on Twitter, they were looking at it. I had generals retweeting me. I had Hollywood elites putting me on their IG and everything. And if I wasn't shadow banned and censored, instead of having 50,000 followers, I would have like 50 million. Because there would be sometimes one day I get 100,000 followers, and it all would drop off on Twitter.
Did you ever talk to Tucker Carlson? I know that you talked to Stu Peters.
I was on Stu Peters 5 times. Tucker Carlson is, he watched me the entire time, and he never put me on because he was scared. He was unrighteous and fearful, and he still is. He did not report anything I put out when it was convenient to save your lives. He only did it to grow his platform afterwards. Yes. Think about it.
I know Michael Jaco was a big, he really did as much as he could to get the word out for people.
Jaco did. Michael Jaco, he's a patriot. He's a Navy SEAL, former Navy SEAL. The man, he's got balls. He's a patriot. It's different from these journalists sitting up at top, and getting all this money. Think about it. Who are the good people? The ones who report after all the bad stuff happens and then take it to the spotlight, or the ones who report beforehand?
Late to the party is what I call most of them.
They censored it. Here's the thing: a lot of people censored that the world enslavement was coming and the mandated jabs were coming and the bioweapon was coming, and then they took credit and said, "Hey, follow me here and make money." Glenn Beck did it. Yeah. I called him in December. And he's like, he hung up on me, and he's like, call me back in 2 weeks. I'm like, the world's in danger. There's a bioweapon coming. World's in AI. Next thing you know, a year and a half later, he writes the book off everything I put out and starts making money off it. So he deserves to be in the depths of hell, to be skinned alive and roasted like a pig that he is, Glenn Beck.
Yeah. We'll let God handle all of that stuff,
Just think about that. I'm sorry. I have to say it because he needs a big stick go from his butt and come out of his mouth and roast the pig that he is. That's what Glenn Beck needs, and he knows it.
Let's talk about something else. And so tell me, so you actually witnessed firsthand how people would take what you were putting together, wouldn't report it through you, but then later come around and act like they had discovered this stuff. And that's the part that kind of broke my heart. And I was, really happy to be a very small part of getting the word out there for you. What do you think is, or actually, let's go back. Before we keep going, can you share with people some of the things that were in your first and second book, specifically the AI that's possible out there, and how it can be used to harm or survey
as
a people?
I put 2 important things, Carmen, and the audience. One was that this bioweapon will be released. I coded it in the first book. The second book, I really said it at the end on page 252-3, artificial intelligence dangers to humanity. So that this bioweapon will hit President Trump and knock him out of office. right before the election, unless he meets me and does these things. He did the 4 of the 5. Not the 5th one didn't meet me at time. Didn't meet me at all, actually, because a few people around him, they wanted to be the advisors, so they thought they would win. They would be victorious, and they weren't. So that was one. The second one, what you guys call mass formation psychosis, I called it biodigital social programming, which is basically you get the conservatives and liberals to be led like sheep by just a few accounts or a few hundred accounts that post stuff and just programs them. Kind of like, 1,000 years ago, burn him at the stake. Okay, everyone goes. That's what was happening. And then everyone's got to get jabbed. Oh, jab them, So it was like that was what was happening with the AI systems being led by these people, these programmers, and these few hundred accounts controlling the people's perceptions. Does that make sense? So that's the most dangerous thing. Having AI give you that tool to basically control people's thoughts and their actions at every level, from school, from the intelligence community, from Hollywood to the media, to even your normal person, your podcasters, even, right? And so that's the danger. So, and it's not even sophisticated yet. It is sophisticated, but it hasn't been deployed in a sophisticated way yet. When it does, think about how bad that is.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And so I'll start with something that was so surprising to me that was in, I think, your second book. And that was that they've already created things like a toilet that you would go to the bathroom in that will tell you you're sick and or tell you all of the things that are wrong with you and report it back to somebody.
Yes.
Okay.
Not only toilets, but like,
so people can understand it.
Yeah, not only toilets, but like the facial recognition, the gaze, the skeleton, all the different attributes that you see in a person. An AI system can be governed, but with a camera system, even as you walk by in a grocery store. So it can tell you, hey, Carmen, welcome to Macy's. This is what we think you should have. You're like, I like Christmas, and you're trying to make me buy this. I can't accept this. It's against my faith. No, it's good for you. It's like, so that's dangerous. And not only read what you want, it tries to change what you want. So you have strong faith, but a 20-year-old or a kid, oh, okay. Does that make sense? That's where danger comes in.
Yeah. And so it can read me kind of like what are they called, RFDI or RDFI or something like that? Because I know that they used to put them on cars. I was in the car business, and like we could tell which car came in because it had this chip. Like we'd know who the owners were, the whole bit. But you're saying that they can do that just through cameras, letting us know through our bones, the way we walk, the gaze of our eyes, our organs.
Yes, everything. The expression on your face, everything, every move that you remember the movie Terminator 2? More advanced than that.
Barely.
Yes, more advanced than that.
Okay.
Kind of like a bartender who can read people really well and lie to your face really well and gossip behind your back, just like that, but 100 times more sophisticated. And no offense to bartenders, there's a lot of good bartenders, right? But I'm talking about there's positive and negatives. Where you go.
Right. Well, and that's the thing that I think a lot of times people are sold on these things being good for us, right? So they don't come out and say, here's a chip for your brain that's going to connect you so that we can read everything that you're thinking and that we can teach you languages. They'll start out with it can help people with Alzheimer's or somebody that's paralyzed or whatever. What are some of the ones that are newer to you that you've heard about that are kind of frightening?
So this Neuralink is not really new. They've been working on this for a long time. But like you said, Elon Musk is saying, "Oh, I want to help you guys with being able to walk and this kind of stuff." It's all great. but then it'll lead to, okay, chipping all the kids and connecting to the ecosystem of the internet and meta. And then when you do that, then you control perceptions like they're sheep, better than sheep, in fact. But that's the issue, Carmen.
Would you ever use Meta?
I haven't. No,
Okay.
I don't like to be a virtual person because it's kind of giving your soul away in a sense.
Yeah.
That's the issue. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm getting a little hot. A lot of
That's
energy coming out of me.
okay. Sometimes if you got lights on, that happens. I'm actually freezing here in Dallas, which is just so weird to me. I moved down here to be away from that. And so if somebody were to read your first book, they would find out about you trying to warn, basically the country, everyone about all of the possible ways that bioweapons could be used. Then the second one is more about surveillance and like the robotics and stuff like that.
No, I recommend reading the second one. The first one I coded because I gave up to the CIA and went up to the president and like, don't say too much.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So, by the way, I don't work for the CIA. I never did. It's called Artificial Intelligence Danger to Humanity. Michael Jacob, he's SEAL, right? So he worked a little bit with, their team when they go check out some subjects out in the Middle East or in the Far East or other places. CIA work together, right? So what I did was I advised the CIA Black Ops Director, the Covert Ops Director, which is more powerful than the CIA Director, on China and on the topics of surveillance, bioweapon, and the whole enslavement, everything that happened. I gave him a report right before.
And you used to live in China, right?
Yeah, I did with fighting bucks. I'm a little bit of I'm nice, but like you said, right? But sometimes I can be a little bit of a fighter. You never know. If I saw Glenn Beck and Alex Jones, I may stick a big thing up their ass, bring it out their mouth, and cook them.
I don't want to lose my channel. Okay, so
no, it's a joke. It's a joke, right? And no one's gonna do that. I mean, they wouldn't smell very good, would they?
You're so silly. All right, I want the nice Cyrus to come back out.
Okay, sorry. It's my Harley outfit. I ride Harleys a lot. Sometimes I pull out my guns when I'm riding.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's talk serious about what your project is right now that you're working on, and why you're working on it.
All right. So getting back from the seriousness, to the seriousness, from the funny, truthful funny, and in a sense,
you can't resist it, can you?
A lot of your audience are Christians. And what did Jesus do? He didn't just sit back and not say anything to the money lenders or the people who were scammed other people, right?
He's supposed to expose evil for sure.
Expose evil deeds. Not the person, but the evil deeds. So exactly. I'm not Jesus, of course, but it's good to learn a little bit from him and others, and say this a little bit. It's okay, So now to answer your question. So yes, okay. I'm doing. I created God Studios. Okay, what does that mean? It's paying homage to God, but also it was a short three-letter word. It's easy to remember. So you want to go to godstudios.com, and then you'll see a trailer I put out. It's called AI Wars: Alien Invasion, and that was put out in June, on June 17th. I did a press release, like I did about the bioweapon.
That's my birthday, June 17th.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and did you know that I have produced a couple films and that I worked in that industry for a while?
That I did not know. That's a good thing to hear.
Whenever somebody comes to me and says that they're doing a movie project, I'm like, make sure you don't lose control of it. And make sure you have good sound, because if you don't have good sound, the movie stinks.
I know. So I have the trailer, Carmen. I have the studio. I have all the equipment. We spent $1 million in pre-production, but I did it secretly, covertly this time, like I did with the bioweapon as well. But then I did a press release. AI Wars: Alien Invasion helped me prevent nuclear wars, and in the trailer, I put out that here is a nice alien aliens getting taken out by elite team, and it's from my script, and it's a sizzle trailer. You can also go to my YouTube channel and watch it. The AI organization YouTube channel, you watch it. And in this, at the end, I gave a spiel. I said, hey, I'm Cyrus Parsa. I'm the founder of the AI organization. With all my heart, I predicted, detected, and warned of the bioweapon from China in an attempt to save your lives, and also mandated jabs and enslavement. And now I'm warning you again that at any time, the powers of China, Communist China, North Korea, Iran, and Russia could get into a nuclear battle with Israel, the U.S., and Europe, and it would involve hypersonic missiles with nuclear warheads, not only from the sky but from the ocean. And when that happens, you would have tidal waves and tsunamis taking you out here and there. So nobody would be a winner, and it would destroy the world. So it was my call to the world. It got 60 million views on the article. 186 news outlets picked it up. You can look it up with a press release. However, when I put it up on my Twitter, again, no one that's in power did anything. They waited a few months and then started taking bits and bits again, like they did last time. But this time, I'm saying your lives and your families are going to perish if you don't support me this time. Last time I said so, and I only have like 15,000 views on my Twitter. So what do I need? Spend $1 million, and I was offered $60 million for the script and everything else by George Lucas, executive producer. I turned it down because I was going to lose a little power, and they were lying. Because
they probably would have shelved it too.
Yes. So here's what I need. I want to make this movie to secure freedoms, and but not hit the left or the right. Just be compassionate. And I put a code in my script and the way I express it, and it would alter the future in a positive way. And what I need right now is $500,000 so I can hire all the actors and a good CGI guy and put it out. And I'm asking, I'm telling, I turned down $100 million during 2020 from someone in the president's circle, because if I would have took that money, I wouldn't have been able to tell everyone about the mandated jabs. So now I don't have that much money. You think I'm a CEO of two companies, but I probably have a lot less than your average person that makes 100 grand a year. It's because I gave a lot of myself to the world. So I'm asking your audience, go to godstudios.com and support this project. Donate $10, $50, $100, or $1,000. I just need about $500,000 and spread it everywhere. Have people donate. I'm going to work on your behalf and the country to alter things. I know how to do it. Out of 8 billion people, I was the only person that warned of all the stuff, and I'll do it all in writing in 2019. So I need your help. And if I don't get the help this time, then I'm at the play. And so I'm asking you from the bottom of my heart to help. And this movie will be great. It'll be very, very good, and it'll alter people's perceptions.
Let me ask you a couple of questions, just because I've been there, right?
Right.
We did a project. We raised $4 million. We did it in 3 months, and what happened was it got away from us because the person in charge of it was making choices that not all of us agreed with, but he had the controlling interest.
Right.
So, and that's neither here nor there. The reason I'm sharing this, though, is we're talking 11 years later, and that movie still hasn't come out.
Right.
It's done. It's finished. And so the other piece of that is then you go into distribution, blah, blah, blah. So we could have a whole conversation about that. But what I want to get to is, if the information is really important, what pieces of it can you tease us with? What pieces of it can you share with us that can help people wrap their head around the story, to maybe donate to not only just do this, but to do it quickly?
Okay. So basically, here's the thing. It's human beings have a nature to always look at stuff and take it. And when you do that, you destroy your family, your other people. So I don't want to give the details of it. It's so secret. But I will tell you, it will secure this country's freedoms. It will support our interests, and it won't be mean to anyone outside. And it'll alter the future in a positive way. So if you didn't like being experience of lockdown, being mandated with jabs, if you didn't like the bioweapon, losing your families, you didn't like all the strats and the freedoms and of losing your country, donate to the AI Wars movie at godstudios.com. Support me. I will work on the country's behalf and on your behalf.
All right, well, let's just go with the title then. The title is AI Wars, right?
Yes, yes.
So
AI
we know
Wars,
a
alien
little bit
invasion.
about what it's about, right? And then
No,
you
it is about AI Wars.
okay.
Alien invasion. There's a lot of military involved. There's the big techs involved and other stuff, but I'm not against anybody. It's something. Here's the thing: it's not the information, Carmen, you guys are missing. When I put out that lawsuit and everything else, I altered people's brain chemistry so
Sure.
that it doesn't go as bad as it would have. Sharon Kinpenny, right? I
Mhm.
DM'd her my lawsuit in like January 20 or December 2019. And hey, look, it's about mandated jabs and nanotechnology. She looked at it, didn't report, waited an entire year and a half, then went on a tour, collected her coffers of money, and never said anything about me and reading my lawsuit. You know how much time I spent and money on that? That's one of hundreds of people who did that. So let me
That's
ask you,
it. Yeah.
why do people? I have evidence of that. She checked it on my Twitter. She checked it. And she read, and I have evidence of people saying she actually read it and watched my interviews with Stu Peters. So it's not just that; it's everyone involved on the liberal and conservative side. It's like they're engulfed, like the Lord of the Rings, with power and show themselves. It is. I don't care about humans looking at me. You're great. That's the thing. It's if you're engulfed with fame or money, you're not near God or anything that's virtuous, and you hurt people. I'm not saying it's her that hurt people, but it's everyone who did that. A lot
Right.
of people did that. So
They
that's
did
the thing.
harm people. They harmed a lot of people. I
Yes. So
saw
don't get fooled with them. That's what I'm saying. What do I need only 500,000 versus 100 million? Because I have the production tools and I know how to do it in a way that Hollywood spends $100 million for, and it's garbage. I can do it and put a code out in the universe and our perspectives to alter both sides thinking to the positive way, right? And inside me, there's deep strength. Inside me, there's a will. But I need your support. If I don't get your support, I can't go forward with that will, right? So I need the American people's support and whoever else outside does that. Godstudios.com is where it is. There's a link, and I have a Give Send Go with AI Wars, Alien Invasion, and then also GoFundMe. And if you go to my Twitter, Cyrus Cyrus APARSA 1, you'll see that, or the AI organization website, you'll see that. I'm sorry, the AI organization YouTube channel. So, but to answer your question, it has to do with AI, lockdowns, but it's not, if someone takes my content, it'll mess up your lives. Because I know how to code it with the future. Just think about it, Carmen. How could any human being go to Trump's director in June 2019 and say, hey, in 6 months, this bioweapon is going to be released. And a year afterwards, it's going to hit the president and his team. They won't know they got it. And at the end, I'll go and get knocked out, and then Biden will come in and there'll be wars. He looked at me like I was crazy. He's like, how do you know this? I was like, I'm the founder of the AI organization. I have a technology no one on the planet has. Outperforming Google and the Pentagon. He's like, it happened just like I said. So how did I do that, Carmen? That is that. The Epstein stuff. Who did that? Moi. Right? Remember that tweet I put out that just got 400,000 views, and General Flint's family was tweeting it, and the generals around Trump, and then it got to 2 billion globally. I saw accounts that they, with 100 followers, they got 100,000 views by just taking my subpoena this. And what did I say? This is what I said. I said, President Trump, please ask William Barr, the subpoena, the China sex tapes of our corrupt politicians visits to mainland China, Macau, Thailand, and this island everyone's talking about. I wonder why everyone's so quiet on CCP's crimes against humanity. Does it have anything to do with these sex tapes, the $1.5 billion and the like? Where is Dr. Fauci when they need him the most? When the bras came off and their underwear came off. So did their masks. Let me know if you need my help to drop the list. After all, we are the AI organization. And Trump was like, oh, for 23 hours, he was quiet on Twitter for the first time ever. And then he goes, Elon Musk waits a year and a half. I'll drop the list. Bullshit. He saw it. Everybody saw it. I had 100,000 people follow me that day because I only had 20,000 followers. They went to 100 something and dropped to 50. And so many news outlets. I got reports. The media outlets were told the editors, they're like, "Oh, we're about to report this. We had it, and we got global notices. Do not report Cyrus or his federal lawsuit about the mandate jabs, or against the big tech, or his subpoena of his tweets, or his book, or his bioweapon." It just says all that. Alex Jones was involved too. You know what? That guy needs not just a stick for his ass out of his mouth.
No,
Out
no,
of his
no, no, no. Don't
he
make me mute it. I'll mute you. I'll mute you.
He hit it and then took your money. That guy, I'm telling you, I mean, you're in Texas. I should come in Texas and kick some ass. He deserves his ass kicked.
Okay. So tell me this. When most people think of AI, they think of artificial intelligence.
Yes.
You talk about it as if it's an alien invasion. Is there some sort of connection between the two?
Yes, because I also got the UFO files declassed on April 24th when everyone was locked down and scared. I put out this thing, AI on the planet invading humanity, tagged the CIA, the POTUS. 3 days later, put out, whoa, there's UFOs, right? And then right December the 8th, right before I knew Trump was going to be ousted, I put out a tweet to him. I'm like, President Trump, please declassify, a request to declassify our UFO deep state files. And then if Biden comes into power, everyone will be mandated jab with nanotechnology. I was like, what? This is December 8th, 2020. I did that, right? So he's like, so 2 weeks later, he puts it in the code because him and General Flynn and everyone else watching my Twitter, and Alex Jones, everybody was doing it. But they're so afraid to make me public because Kushner and a few other people said, oh, no. We don't want to make his story viral because they didn't want to lose their power. You know Lenny Dykstra? You know him? Lenny Dykstra is a World Series Mets champ. Okay?
What is it?
1986 World Series Mets champ. He said to me, he met me in Beverly Hills, and I was trying to get my movie with Mel Gibson and other people done. And he's like, Cyrus, everybody around Trump knows you. Every single one. I'm like, what? I'm like, why did you let me talk to Trump to save the country? Because they're jealous. I'm like, they're jealous? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, how's that? Because they're a bunch of morons. And if you went over there, they wouldn't be the smartest guys in the rooms anymore. I'm like, you telling me they're like that? Like, yeah. And they're just baffled how you could predict and warn of all these things. And they're afraid because they didn't listen to you and they took money. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. I'm like, how do you know? He's like, I'm really close with Melania. And then he showed me communication with Don Jr. about me. So I was like, interesting. So everyone's afraid that my story will get big. And it's like when you have the liberals and the conservatives censor you and you know you've done something really good. When you have Alex Jones using his entire infrastructure to censor you after he had you on 5 times.
You've been on Alex Jones too?
Oh, at the beginning he had me on. I warned of the bioweapon and the mandated jabs, and he was like, and he had me on for a lawsuit. And later on, he looks at it, he's like, oh shit, it implicated some people that I know. And he didn't have me anymore. When I said to him, when I put out my UFO thing, and I said mandated jabs with nanotechnology, on that day, he stopped it. He did not have me on a show and cut off all communication. That was early 2020. So I was like, he had me on 5 times from August. I'm sorry, from October 2019 up until March. No, I'm sorry, February 2020, and then because I asked him to get me on Rogan.
Let's stay on focus.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just doing jabs, and I shouldn't have done jabs and uppercuts, and
you didn't warn me you were going to be feisty today. So
I wasn't going to be feisty.
Tell me this. In your opinion, what is an alien? How would you define what an alien is?
So from the Christian sense, or Catholic sense, or Islamic sense, or the Abrahamic faiths, which comes from the Semites, because Jesus never spoke about aliens that we know of, right? But maybe he did. They're just demons, okay? And I believe so. Um, but
That's what I think too. I
but
think they're demons. You talk
yes,
slow down just a little bit. You talk so quickly. I can hear you because I'm from Chicago. But us some of those people down south will be like, what did he just say?
hi folks. I apologize for speaking fast,
There you go.
and I'm sorry that I came to your neck of the woods in Texas and I gave those nasty uppercuts to Glenn Beck and Alex Jones and Tucker. I really apologize about that, but let's go get back to the aliens. You know what? Maybe they're actually reptilian aliens, those three guys. You never know. So that's kidding. You never know. Okay, so now getting back to the aliens.
Yeah,
I
what did
viewed
he
the I viewed the Pentagon files. Well, they're given to the Pentagon. They didn't belong to the Pentagon in 2003. And I saw gray aliens or shorter or bigger. I saw reptilian guys. I saw a ghost type of people. The universe, guys, is very big. If there are ghosts, if the creator of the universe with all his angels exists and there's demons and stuff, so then they can have any kind of appearance. And who says a demon couldn't fly a craft from a different dimension? You see? So it's not you're not hurting your belief by saying something bad exists. You're saying something bad exists, let's kick his ass. I've actually seen not just the files, but I've seen crafts. We have a reverse engineer, and I've seen actually aliens in different forms.
Okay.
So I'm making this movie from experience.
Right.
Everything's from experience. AI Wars Alien Invasion at gothstudios.com.
All right. So then I have a question. You don't have to tell me anything about the actual movie. In your mind, how could a special ops team beat demons? To me, they can't unless they have the blood of Christ. I would like to hear what you have to say.
Yes. So when you say the blood of Christ, that means you have to have a certain spiritual power. Okay.
You have to have
So
faith of
yeah,
yeah, you have to
you,
have
you,
faith
you
and
not
belief.
just that. Here's the thing: you will not have that blood of Christ if you're immortal in your character. Let me explain what that means: mortal in character. If you have fear, if you have desire for sex, if you drink alcohol, if you are, if you have emotions, you have jealousy, you have ego and pride, all
Yeah.
these things that humans have, the sins they have, then you are just mortal. You're human. You will not be bathed in God's power, and you will not have those powers, and you will be defeated by demons of that nature. So that's why angels take those roles. But however, in this dimension and in our world, sometimes people can get to those levels. So here's the thing. Now let's go to religion. So I don't believe with all my heart that Jesus wanted to develop a religion. He wanted to destroy the religion that was the Talmud, different things, because it was very racist. And it was controlled by moneylenders and different things. So he wanted people to follow the path of saints. That's why he had disciples. You see, what's the difference? You have ordinary people, you have disciples. That means he teaches disciples something of more higher value because he wants them to be saints. But how many of his disciples became saints? One of them, Judas, he betrayed him. Another one betrayed him. Wouldn't say his name. Almost all betrayed him. You see? So that's why it's so hard. He says, well, it's so hard for a human to
It's a
get
miracle.
into heaven.
Yeah.
So I then you go to the Catholics, and it's another interpretation, a path of Trinity and a glorified body to get to heaven through your Lord Jesus Christ and to the Creator, which is above him. But here's the thing: they believe in purgatory because they don't believe humans can achieve sainthood in the mortal body. That they have to go through a process, and to be truly saved, you go through a purgatory, and then you go. Then if your character attains virtue and you get purified, you get a glorified body, then you are accepted to heaven. So, but in the Christian sense, because you don't know how this religion, uh, um, or any religion spread, right? Because people had faith in Europe. You're an Anglo. You're probably a Germanic or a Dutch or something of a mix from that region. Uh, it wasn't there 2,000 years ago. The people, did everyone go to hell? It wasn't there 1,700 years ago. The Romans, through the Jewish hierarchy, who were providing the funding, they went to war, raped and pillaged, and then they won battles, and then the descendants, okay, you are following Jesus Christ, just like what happened to the Muslims. So it spread and spread, and for generation after generation, the programming in the brand is that. But here's the thing: I don't think Jesus would have want anyone to spread his faith, his teachings, to war and rape. That's why when you do that,
Oh
to
no,
to, to war and
absolutely.
rape,
Yes.
that's why I'm not saying everything happened that way, because sometimes the spirit of Christ and other things would have just compelled an area to be like, yes, we want that faith. But it was a combination of these two things. So what I'm trying to get at is, to get into heaven, you really have to understand Jesus' teachings. And what really is that? Have faith in me. What does it mean to have faith in him? Do you have faith in him when you lie? Do you have faith in him when you get angry? Do you have faith in him when you
When you
steal?
go to the doctor.
Do you have faith in him when you betray your loved one? Do you
Yeah.
have faith in him when you have fear? That
Right.
means you don't have faith in him. Do you
Right.
understand? So
Uh-huh.
it's when he says these words, one word or a sentence, it has so much inner meaning. There's so much. There's the essence of the Creator is inside those words. For you to understand that, your vibrancy, your frequency, your inner self, your virtue, your soul has to reach that. You can't just like go through life and do the things you do and go to Sunday to church and just treat it and then think you're gonna go to heaven. No way. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Oh, I believe Jesus. If you do that, why do you do all these things? Why do you have all these vices? Oh, I'm a sinner. No, no. He said. He
Literally
said.
just talked with Dr. Laura Sanger about this yesterday on the show.
He
Same
said.
conversation.
Yeah. He
It's
said. What did he say? Repent and sin no more. Right. That's what he said, right? Okay. So I didn't mean to get into faith and
no,
religion, but
that's good. It's good though, because it helps. So then to help me wrap around the concept of AI being alien invasion really is perhaps demon invasion. I don't know why I was saying Dominic. And so what does that have to do with Russia, China, South Korea? Isn't it all just orchestrated by the evil?
it is. So here's the thing. We think like, so if you look at some of the Christians, they read the Bible, but here's the thing. The first the disciples were shunned. For 300 years, the true Christians were raped and fed to lions. Then they create those books off the Talmud. So when you're reading this stuff and you're thinking it applies to today,
Yeah.
a lot of it applies to back then, of warring and killing and fighting for a land. You think Jesus wants to fight for a land? He said, my home is not here. He said it's a different place. So it's mixed with Old Testament stuff that doesn't belong to what Jesus taught and some of his words, because they wanted to control masses. So you talk about what's happening in Russia, because these books exist, these thought patterns exist, they permeate the programming that little kids had, that are in our media and our Pentagon today and our CIA and FBI and in our education system on the religious side. But they also permeate the liberals who hate faith but still in their programming because they read the stuff when they were kids. Then you go to the Arabs, similar stuff because it comes from the Semitic faiths. Same thing. And
Right.
they're all fighting for 1400 years, you see, but none of them are following what Christ said. So then you go to the Catholics. It's a combination of old Mithraism, Persianism, Zoroastrianism, and what Christ thought and what the Talmud taught combined in their teachings. So that's why the world has all these warring issues. And then you have Russia, which has that in their programming. You have China, which has the evil side from Karl Marx, which was, you have Trotsky, Lenin, and Marx, and all those people who hated faith and they hated the concept of God. So then you have, okay, misunderstandings of God and Jesus controlling these religions and using mass formation psychosis on all the people of faith, but they don't really understand their faith too much. Then you have on the side the haters of faith and that just want anything that has vice. which are communists and negative social, radical leftist socialists, and they're going after each other. So, and I have an antidote for that, and it's compassionate. I have been compassionate in this interview. I told you a couple weeks ago I don't want to say negative, and I did, and I don't regret it because if they truly loved you, if they truly cared about the people, then they would give credit was due and use the skills of the person and come together. So why am I hitting the conservatives, not the liberals? Because I hit them with my lawsuit, and they all just like went in a corner and hit. So it's like, what else am I going to say? Because the liberal side is the communist side for the most part, not all, right? So, Carmen, I don't know. I'm asking you as the audience, do you feel my wrath, and do you feel my compassion? Conversation about.
Do we feel like, to me, the most important thing that it's very difficult. What you're asking is very difficult ask, because like when we did our movie, we had such an unbelievable story that was already out there in the media that people loved, that went viral.
Here's the story. It's about a long-term secret invasion plot by aliens to replace the human race, powered by AI that leads to hypersonic missiles, nuclear weapons destroying your futures with radiation and enslavement. And a covert military operation comes out and rescues this. That's the plot.
Okay, good.
So I have. Let me show you. I have AI Wars: The Beginning. You can get it off Amazon. I have AI Wars: The Destruction, which talks about the prehistoric flood and after the flood. I give secrets away there. And then I have AI Wars: Secret Invasion, and I have AI Wars: Alien Invasion coming, and that's in the film.
Are these books like your first two books, or are these?
These are my from the script, the prologue of the script.
Okay.
I show a time before Angels. So here's the thing: all those people that take information, and mess up someone like me or other people who have the skills. At the end, they're going to go to hell, not heaven. And bad energy comes to them because all the suffering everyone does comes to them. So this is my last time I'm going to ask. Go to godseers.com, support it, and fund the movie. Give $10 or $100. Ask 100 people. Here's the thing: trillions of dollars were spent. How many people went after you get jabbed? Donate here, donate here. You're giving thousands, hundreds of thousands. And when someone like me only actually used up, maxed out his credit cards and gave the CIA director the report, and he made a lot of money off it, and then maxed out his credit cards, wrote a book, and went to Trump. It's like, hey, and this circle stole it and made money off it, and then maxed out his other credit cards and everything else, and then came out to the public, hey, support me, and you're like, oh, he's got a little brown skin, oh, he looks a little different, oh, he's not with God, and they steal it. So that's the issue, and the whole country that happened to. So I'm telling you, this is the last thing. I want to make AI Wars: Alien Invasion. I'd like you guys to support me, and if you get 10,000 people to give $20 or $30 a piece, or a few good, strong, righteous Texans, and you can contact me at contact@godseers.com and to donate. And I have something. I have collateral. If someone wants to be executive producer, you no control. Just get some money and some notoriety and help righteous way. I will use up my collateral, which is worth millions. All I need is $500,000. I will make this movie on behalf of the country, and it'll be really entertaining. And I'll put it out by the end of summer. I just need it in the next 2-3 weeks. So godseries.com, and I won't give uppercuts. I will just tell the truth.
Okay. So slow down, because you said all that so fast. First of all, if someone does want to give, where would they go besides godstudios.com? I put that in the chat.
Yes.
There's also a Give, Send, Go.
Give, Send, Go with AI Wars, and then there is a Go
AI Wars on the title.
AI Wars: Alien Invasion, and then there's another one. There's GoFundMe and AI Wars: Alien Invasion. So here's the thing: I put out a GoFundMe. I said the world's in danger. Here's my lawsuit: man-made nanotechnology and world enslavement and bioweapons coming. Everyone looked at it on Twitter. Nobody donated. $3,000 in 3 months. And afterwards, everyone's donating to other people, and it didn't work out for anything, right? So now I'm saying, hey, it's almost an impressive. I've been asking since June, and I got like a couple $1,000, $1,500 in donations from the world. So I'm like, they're just looking at it. It's like, here's the thing. It's evil controlling their brains because they're not in line with God. That's why. That's what it is. You have me on your show because you're alive with God. Those ones are not. Here's the thing. It's fear. And it's these evil entities because they know, oh shit, if Cyrus puts us out and the way he wants to do it, and he gets backed by the people, whoa. So they control their thoughts until the time passes and it's too late. That's the
Yes.
secret behind it.
Well, and here's the thing that I want to say, because I have witnessed firsthand people giving millions to these insane charities that are supposedly stopping sex trafficking. And to me, that is the biggest waste of money there is. You've proven yourself as someone who can have an idea, invest in it, put it together, get it out. Doesn't matter what the quality is. And to be honest, like, I loved your books as far as how simple they were to read, how easy it was laid out. To me, if what you're saying is true, and I believe it is, I believe that I would call it a demonic invasion. But I don't want to split hairs with you. Isn't it a kind of more important thing to do to get behind somebody who's actually doing something, and there is no harm in it? It's not like we could come around someday and go, oh man, he was the one that was,
Yeah. Well, I was the one that got out the bioweapon, the virus, I wrote down Manivax nanotech. I wrote it down. It was in my film in 2020, early, the UFO stuff. So here's the thing. Do I have to beg you guys to break free from this mind control? The audience? I hope there's the right people in Texas. I know, reach out to me. We just need $500,000. I want to hire these actors, actresses, and I'll put this movie by summertime, and it would help your lives. It really would.
And here's the thing, even if it's a bad movie, let's just say it is. Let's just say worst case scenario, it's a bad movie. As long as it gets the message across,
yes,
that's all that matters.
I've coded something inside there. Even if it's a bad movie, you're right. It'll change everything. I just need global distribution. So it's going to be really good. If you watch my trailer, you'll see me. I'm in there because people kept on trying to censor me. I'll put more myself in the sizzle trailer. But the real trailer, the movie isn't like that. But you see me cutting off an alien's balls? Pretty nice. Because he tried to kidnap a girl, right? And you see me beating up another guy, and you see that the military team comes in, take out the aliens, boom, 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 boom. I asked General Flynn to retweet it, but he was afraid. I talked to Mel Gibson.
You're a different kind of person. I'm just curious, I hope you don't get offended at this, but do you have some sort of like Asperger's or something like this? Because your ability to drill down and to learn so many different things is so insane.
I can process tens of millions of things in my mind in seconds.
Yeah.
And algorithms. I can do things the entire CIA, FBI, and military, and all the governments and our think tanks and the smartest people cannot do. But there's other things I can't do. Like I can't whistle. I can't play an instrument. I'll be like, I just can't whistle, right?
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, I can shove a big thing up Alex Jones' butt. And come out of his mouth.
We're done.
I grew up in a fire.
Coming.
How big that he is.
One more time, tell everybody all the places they can find. Tell everyone your Twitter, your website, the studios, the whole bit. Okay.
Cyrus, CYRUSA PARSA 1. Cyrus Parsa 1. That's for Instagram. That's for Twitter. Gitter, led by fake coward Steve Bannon, who also put an order to hide my mandate vaccine warning. You didn't know about that. Oh, okay. So, just wait. Okay, so I need to go to godstudios.com, and I'm a little feisty one. I've been too nice, and I'm just going to be more truthful from now, and that's it. Because if we don't, these guys are going to keep on screwing things up because they want power. So
www. The AI organization.
That's another one. But God Studios, God, GOT, studios.com.
I put them all in the chat. Thank you so much for coming. It was good to see you again.
And I apologize to the audience for being a little bit like this, and like that. But it's from love because I don't know how to ask you to help because I've asked so nicely for 3 years. People just staring at me, and oh shit, he was right. So I'm being more feisty. Carmen, thank you for having me on. Thanks, Michael Jacob, for being a patriot and strong. And I actually like General Flynn. I just I did meet Mel Gibson. Let me tell you a story about him. You want to hear about that?
I don't know. You're scaring me today.
Well, he was going to help, but then Father Barry, that controls him, said no. God has ordained the world to be destroyed, and we don't want to help Cyrus. That was his thinking. That was his pastor's thinking. I'm like, so is the God controlling him or the demon controlling his pastor? I say it's a demon controlling Mel Gibson's pastor. I love Mel Gibson, but that day I cried my Harley on the way back, and I went home. I took Braveheart. I burned it. I took Passion of Christ. I didn't burn it, but I just gave it away to someone else. And I thought he needs to make Coward Heart. That's what Mel Gibson needs to do. He needs to make Coward Heart because at the end he became a coward.
Oh, that's too bad. That's a
Too
sad.
bad. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye, everybody.
All right.